Hey everybody, it's Primus, and today we'll be taking a look at custom class animated Shockwave, or Shackwave, if you will. This is a figure I've been anxiously awaiting to do. Tried to get a little bit of interview info, but did not come out with much. You can see it is the Earthspark Deluxe Shockwave mold. Excuse me while I fix that down there. I did not retape it. But it is the Earthspark mold. Cyberverse would have worked just as well. And I did have my friend J-Dub, that would be Duke Trooper on Instagram, make this nice little cover art for me. I'll be keeping the box, but this figure is going to him when it's done. I can make another. Alright, let's open him up. As this is a custom figure, he comes with everything Earthspark Shockwave would, including instructions. I did tie him down to the original packaging just to kind of keep him safe for the time being, but I included something extra that is not normally with this. A mangled Blurr cube. Link to the file can be found in the description. Also included are his accessories. I'll lay them all out for right now, but I'll get into them in a minute. Yes, this is the TFcon Toronto 2024 custom class kit in all its glory, with 5 3D printed resin parts. Before we begin, I want to focus on 2 of those parts, namely the Shockwave head and the new neck joint. Now this, I have made to specification. It is on a new piece. It's just a 5mm peg that allows it to have rotation, but swappability. This is a gorgeous, clean design, but I am not quite satisfied with it. I did make it to specifications, but the antennae are not quite right, and that bothers me considering I used the right shade of paint elsewhere on the figure. Look at the chest. You can also see that I've gone to the liberty of adding a Decepticon badge repro label here, because this is how my bud J-Dub's gonna keep it. So, as I'm not quite satisfied with this, I'm gonna go ahead and give this an extra couple coats. Be right back. There we go. Much better. This really is quite the interesting figure, though. I managed to have some brief email communication with Azim, the owner of Renderform. You may know him from this gem. But what I was able to gather was that Azim designs and prints all these parts as part of Renderform, but it's actually Duncan Kemp who does the classes for TFcon. He teaches the class, paints them, and apparently does the instructions for them. But whoever did whatever part of this has been a fantastic creative collaboration that I'm really glad I got to personally experience. As mentioned before, he does come with a few accessories. First of all, sorry I nicked myself off camera, but he does have this mask for Longarm Prime. Just sort of layer that over the face, and there you go. Now, this is not quite accurate with the antennae sticking up here like mandibles. It's a choice that unfortunately nobody uses, but it's an option. I do like it. It's a great effect piece, especially if you can manage to balance it in the hand. It does the job. But so too does this. Long arm, full head. All you have to do is pop off the head and pop on the new one. Might be a little tighter, depending on how much paint you've put on it. Speaking of, I did kind of toy with the idea of putting several extra layers of paint or clear coat on the back of this thing to make it sort of grip to the face better, but in the end it would just be paint on paint, and we don't really want that. But this is a gorgeous head sculpt. I think it might be even prettier than the Shockwave head, and that is in part due to the design of it. I just love all that extra metallic blue coming out in it. Really just pops. And you may have noticed the repro label is no longer there. Well, yes it is. I made 2. I'm gonna make a 3rd. They look gorgeous together, and I have a couple friends who love animated Shockwave, so you know what? I mean, I'm not going to not make one for myself, but they can have first dibs. Zooming on out a little bit, it appears we have yet another new piece. This time it's the crane weapon for Longarm Prime mode. I love this. It looks leagues better than the one that came with the original Voyager. And, kudos to Duncan and Azim for making this happen. I mean, yeah, I painted it, but this looks really nice. I really might have to make this kit 2 more times because I really just love having these two side by side. It fills me with joy. Here these two modern deluxes are with the original Voyager from back in the day. They are absolutely dwarfed by this thing. Even in this much smaller Autobot disguise, this is kind of towering over the others. I love it. Poor little guys. For a brief size comparison, here they are as well with Blurs, some more Autobot scum, and these two freaks. Now, these two feature a lovely combination of Tamiya and Vallejo paints with a little bit of Metal Flake thrown in, but I won't give you the secret to their success. I'll put the link to it down in the description. But they really are gorgeous. What a pair. And, you can pretend that one actually is Longarm Prime and, oops. For articulation, this mold sports quite a fair bit. Starting out with the feet, he does have a little bit of ankle tilt, as well as a decent amount of forward and back. A good over 90-degree bend at the knee. 360-degree swivel at the... 360-degree swivel just above the knee. The legs can go forward, back, and out to the side. The side skirts have a little bit of movement to them. The waist can go 360 degrees. Now, the arms are an interesting subject. They can go 360, though you are quite hindered with the tubing here. It's quite possible to open up the back and just tab it in there, or maybe tuck it up underneath one of these pointy bits on the side, but it doesn't hold particularly well like that. It is, however, quite serviceable, and it frees up the arm entirely. It is possible to detach the hose from inside, but I'm going to avoid that. I've already put so much effort into making this work. You can also stick the hook going straight up along the side here and just wrap the tubing around that. You have a lot of options to get it out of your way. And this looks pretty decent too. 360 degrees at the bicep, though the tubing can get in the way of that. 90-degree bend at the elbow. And the right fist specifically rotates 360 degrees. I'm just lifting this flat to make it a little bit easier for the camera. The left fist is quite in place due to the gun. The heads can rotate 360 degrees with varying levels of success. It really has more to do with how much you painted the actual peg, which should hopefully be none, and how much you painted the inside socket here. In addition, the Longarm Prime head is a little bit thicker at the base, so you'll notice it doesn't actually go down all the way. It's a little tighter fit, but I like it. Alright, transformation time! Now, regardless of whichever robot mode you choose, there is an unfortunate first step. Plopping the head off. These simply will not fit under the chest plate, so off to the side they go. To start things off, we're going to wiggle the cannon out of the hand. Next, we're going to take the fists, lift them up, flip out the feet, fold the fist in, and close it back up. Repeat for the other side. Lift up using the hand, flip out the foot, flip in the hand, collapse, and straighten it out. Next, and this can be a bit sticky, but it's one of my favorite little bits of this, we're going to lift the chest plate, which may fuse depending on the amount of paint. So we're going to hold it firm and push from the bottom. And failing that, take care of it off screen. Ooh, ow! Now this does unfortunately mar a little bit of the paint right here, but you will never see it as it will always be covered up or on the bottom. But we're going to take this and lift it, and these sections right here have been painted to mirror that of animated Shockwave's shoulder stacks. I love this. Come to the back and flip out these pointy bits, folding them into place. You may have to open that up depending on if this is attached. Coming back to the front, we're going to come down to the legs and rotate the shins 180, as well as the forearms. Almost there. We're going to straighten everything out, bending the limbs as we see fit, spreading everything, and flip up and tab in the backpack before placing the cannon peg in that hole. And there we go. To get into crane mode, we're going to take this listing cannon, and while we do still have the option to totally remove it, I'm just going to wrap it around underneath, kind of rest it on the back spikes, take this crane, and put it in the same hole we put the cannon into. And there we go. And here we have Shockwave in alt modes. Now, I'm going to be real with you. Seeing as these are based on the Walker Tank Shockwave mold, I am less of a fan of his Decepticon alt mode. Purely for the fact that it's the same, while the other one is a breath of fresh air. I mean, truly an inspired choice. Especially considering what they're basing the coloring off. I mean, yeah. It's by no means perfect, but this is definitely my choice of representation here. Look at that. Even with some alt mode alterations, you're just simply not going to get as good of an H-Tank mode. This is an H-Tank. This is a man who went splat. But here they are again with Blurs, Autobot Scum, and these freaks. Overall, Custom Class Shackwave was an absolute delight to make, and he's a really creative solution to a problem I didn't even realize was a problem. One of my favorite figures of all time, not getting a new version in 20 years, plus the fact that he's yellowing very badly despite my not exposing him to sunlight. I mean, that's a real shame. I would love to see some sort of Age of the Primes era new version of him, like they've done more recently with Punch Counterpunch. But I just don't think it's in the cards. Even if they are doing all these animated figures, I just don't see it happening. So, for a lot of people, this is about as good as you're going to get. I mean, the original figure is easily $120 or more. Trying to get him complete, which is to say, with his weapon, the thing that makes both alt modes. This was, in comparison, only $80 per figure, after the cost of the figure, the paints, the shipping. But it takes a lot of time, energy, and honestly, skill that a lot of people just don't necessarily have. This kit is a lot of fun, and it's very creative with how it uses the mold. But I definitely can't recommend it for everybody. Still, if you feel up to the task, give that link a click. I think it'll be well worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any notifications. This has been Primus, and I will catch you next time. Take care.
This gun is just an extra piece, so I painted the same grade to match, but yeah.
Custom Class Animated Shockwave. Damn. Everything Earthrise Shockwave would. Earth Spark. I swear I had one of these Shockwaves with an angrier eye. You might wonder, why did you make this? If you already had him. Multiple times. Just for funsies. And I've got two friends who would really appreciate a copy, so... yeah. Like, yeah, I want one of every variant. Anyway. Get his legs on the ground. Get his legs on the ground. Here we go. But so too does this. Long arm, full head. Perfect. 360-degree swivel at the... just above the knee. 360 degrees. Same thing again. 360 degrees at the... 360... I did this. I made this.